Okay, hypothetical question. How could GSP improve his jab? Well, I'll show you what I'd teach him to improve his power in his jab. Okay. So basically, when you're doing a boxing jab or a Muay Thai jab and you're training the big gloves, you end up jabbing with the bottom three knuckles. And that's exactly perfectly normal. That's what most people do, is they come out and they hit and these bottom three knuckles. So the problem with that is it's not actually lined up kinetically with the full kinetic chain. The full kinetic chain is actually on the inside of the middle knuckle, and you can't actually punch with that when you've got the big boxing gloves on and a fixed thumb position. You don't actually learn that punch. If you've done karate when you're younger, you'll know what I mean, and obviously GSP has. So what happens is when you're training the big boxing gloves all the time, you get the habit of hitting with the outside of the knuckles because the thumb cannot be tucked. And I think people tend to forget that the middle knuckle, the inside of the middle knuckle, is much stronger. It's a much stronger, from the shoulder to the knuckle, it lines up the kinetic chain much better than it does if you're hitting with the outside three. So when I'm hitting with the outside three, it's actually a slope. I've got two knuckles here, which is a flat part, and I've got a slope. So whenever I hit with the outside three knuckles, I'm already hitting on a slope. So it's really hard to drive that energy in to get that real spot on drive of energy when you're poking the energy in. So with the two knuckles, that allows me to deliver more drive. It allows me to drive the shot in more than I would with the outside. So with the outside, when I jab with the outside now, then I'm hitting with the outside and it's bouncing. As soon as I land, it's bouncing away. It's really hard for me to get that drive. If I jab with two, then it's a much stronger position. You get an instant 30% punching between the three knuckles here and punching between the two. When you understand the two knuckle properly and the inside of the middle knuckle, that's an instant 30%. And when you train it, there's another 10% that comes from a couple of years of training. So it's really interesting how this is missed in the boxing, and because of the thumb position in modern boxing gloves. So from there, I'd also add, when I look at the shockwaves that I teach, the light, the deep and the ripping shockwave, for the jab, the perfect shockwave is the light snap. And again, if I'm doing a light snap, if I just come close in now and I just isolate the light snap on the front leg, if I just do a light outside knuckle snap here, then it really crisps up the shot, gives it more, isolates this part of the knuckle actually, and the more you isolate part of the knuckles, the more force you get. The smaller the area you land with, the more explosive the shot's going to be. So when I come over into the two knuckles here, when I drive in with two knuckles there with the light snap, there's much more poke, there's much more drive in the shot, there's much more energy delivered on the spot. So from this jab to this two knuckle, inside knuckle jab there, you're looking at an instant 30%, build it up to 40% when you put a bit of time on it. And that's the same with all the other punches. So you're looking at an instant 30% on your jab, cross, whatever you want to do, hitting with inside of the middle knuckle rather than the outside. You can just see there's much more drive hitting with the two knuckles. Try that, see what happens.